What is up, everybody? In today's video we are going to be putting coilovers on the Honda CR-V. All that in today's episode. My name is Ryan. This is Project Race Car. Let's get into it. Because I think that these ones aren't doing well. Okay, I found this random CR-V and I pulled into their driveway to kind of actually compare. So we got boom, boom. So for the coilover option, I decided to go with K-tuned street coilovers for the CR-V, and it has a 12K front spring and a 9K rear spring, and these should be perfect for just daily driving and street use. They are 12-way adjustable, and we can lower it as much as we want. I believe that it can drop the car like 2 or 3 inches, which is huge. Everybody knows that 2 inches is a lot. It's a big number. Naturally, we are on the stock rims and tires, but I wanted to actually lower the car before we actually picked up new ones. That way we could see how much it actually drops them, and we can hopefully eliminate any sort of rubbing issues. I believe that I'm going to work on the rear first, because these seem the simplest, but you can see the old springs are starting to rust, and I don't know when the last time this suspension was changed. Car has 215,000 miles on it. I've owned it since 160, and I definitely haven't touched any part of the suspension. So it is long overdue for a nice coilover. I have no doubt that K-tuned makes a good coilover, so we are going to throw these guys in and get to work. And there she is, all the way down. Well, I was being a big dummy, and I decided to, I finally got this off. You can see how bad this spring is and just how sketchy that can be, especially if it just keeps rotting. Anyways, I was thinking that this needed to be reused, this bottom half, because, hear me out, there are the front and the back. Turns out the back has this, the front has this, and the front sits in a fork. I thought that this was the back, so that is all cleared up. So we are going to throw this bad boy in. To get the closest ride height on these, I went ahead and dropped them all the way down, and then did 8 turns on each just to start, and we'll see how low that actually is. Okay, luckily the Honda CR-V has easy suspension. There's 1 bolt in the bottom, 2 bolts in the top, and these things are all done. Now, if you look over on the other side, which I've already finished, the suspension was almost on the ground, and so it definitely raised it 2 full inches at least. But we are about to get the car back on the ground, at least up for the rear. Okay, let's drop it for the first time. How low is that? Oh yeah. So it doesn't look that low, but if you actually look at the car, you can tell that it's squatting now. And the front is just like, there's, you know, at least, I don't know, 6 inches. And then in the rear, with nothing in the car, there's less than half a fist. So 3 fingers, nice. So now let's go ahead and do the fronts. Can you guys let me know if this bushing is blown? Because I can't really tell. It looks still, I might try to reuse it because it still looks good to me, but we'll see. So, these things were an absolute pain to get off, but we are replacing them with these guys, the True Heart. I heard that it has less of a chance of scraping when you actually lower the car. So, it has full camber adjustments, and so we are going to throw this back in, and it will also replace these probably not good bushings. Once we remove this 10mm, we can move this unit away and get to the actual struts. That was way too loose. Come on. Jesus Louises. Now that is out. Okay, on the side of the strut there's a bolt, and then underneath there's a 17mm that you want to put something on, and then we'll just crank this bolt off. I already loosened it with a breaker bar, but we'll just go ahead and get this all the way off. And once this bolt is off, we'll do the other bolt, and that is just on the other side in a terrible spot. You can see how much I've messed up my hands in doing this yesterday on the other side. So on the upper control arm it says S10L, so I figured that was the left side, and so that means that this one is also the left side. Okay, now that this is loosely mocked up, I'm going to start tightening those bolts, so I will see you guys in 20 minutes. Okay, so similar to the rear, I'm going to fully drop it down. And then go from there, 1, 2, 5, 6, 7, 8. Perfect. Now we are gonna slap this bad boy in. Now we can try to fit this wishbone back in, which went in a lot easier than it came out. And just like that, the suspension is fully done. Same thing on the other side, as well as the rears. So I'm going to make sure that everything is tight and good to go, and then we will get the wheels and tires back on and go for a test drive. Also, I can't forget these guys. This is to adjust them. Okay, so there's 12 adjustable, so we are gonna put it right at like middle, 6. And we are gonna do the same for the other side. So this is my old strut, and I think it's gonna feel a lot better, because I think that these ones aren't doing well. Oh yeah. So I know it's hard to tell with this lighting, but the car's significantly lower. I'm glad that it's not completely slammed, because this can probably drop another couple inches, or at least another inch, but I like it. Let's go see how it actually handles. You might be able to tell on this side in the actual sun, but the car is much lower. So I will definitely need to take the car in to get it aligned, which is what you should always do with new suspension. But so far, I mean, it obviously feels so much stiffer than what I was dealing with. But the car is noticeably lower, especially when I go to sit in the car. I notice that it's an actual drop rather than just stepping in. There was so much body roll before that this would be like shaking the car, but again, obviously, like, it makes sense that these feel a lot stiffer, but the car feels totally different. I will really be testing these K-tuned coilovers because I beat the hell out of this car, so this will be a good test to see the longevity of them and how they compare to BC Racing coilovers, which is what I have on the E30, and these are very comparable. They're a bit cheaper than the BC coilovers, but so far they feel really good. The real difference between cheap coilovers and expensive coilovers is really the longevity. Cheap coilovers will feel good and be good for a little bit of time, but they really don't last as long as an expensive coilover. Also double checked, it has a 12K front spring and a 7K rear spring. Okay, we're gonna take this turn pretty quickly. We'll see how it actually goes. Oh, so much better. Okay, so I've taken a couple corners a lot harder than I normally would, and the thing just stays perfectly level, which is exactly what I wanted. Before, it felt like I was gonna tip, kind of like if I took it at 5 miles an hour faster, then it would have just been completely done. And then the second thing that I noticed is that the suspension right now is really bumpy at like highway speeds, if you're just like kind of cruising, and so I might try to dial back a couple of the like knobs on each one of the things so that it is a little bit softer, because I think going 50% is kind of a bit too harsh for like cruising around. So I might try on like a 3 and try to see how that feels. Like I said, it does need an alignment really bad. As soon as I'm hitting bumps and stuff, it definitely pulls a certain way. So okay, I found this random CRV and I pulled into their driveway to kind of actually compare. So we got boom, boom. Do you see how much lower the CRV is? Wow. Another reference, we have at least a fist and a half. And then over here, 2 fingers. Nice.
Yeah, because it's a big loop.
Yeah. Race car CRV.
Race car.
Dude, this thing rips.
Yeah. I like this road
Sick.
a lot.
Yeah,
I mean, it gets a lot more twisty later on, but
no, this is good. Okay, after actually driving it on a curvy road and actually feeling out the suspension, this thing rips. I am so pumped and so thrilled about these coilovers, and honestly, it was the best money that I could have ever spent. And I know that K-tuned is going to be a good product that's going to last a long time, so these feel like a perfect coilover for the CRV. This is not sponsored in any way, but I will leave the link in the description down below in case you guys want to slam your CRV too. It lowered the CRV about 2 to 3 full inches, and I think it handles great. The coilovers feel good. It's definitely a lot stiffer than the stock. Obviously my struts were blown before, but it does feel a world different, and this is even before an alignment and everything like being completely fixed. So being a first shakedown, this thing is looking mint. More mods for the CRV and the E30 are coming very soon, and until next time, my name is Ryan. This is Project Race Car. Have an amazing day. Peace.